In death, I shall be stronger. Unlock other skills by death. Hamustra said, in ancient times, there was a being with the name Pond of Collected Memories. Tower Master said, what a cool library. Hamustra said, this too was a name that humans had come up with. The humans could not properly pronounce the being's real name. The best they could manage was to call him Hamustra, although his true name was something else entirely. Tower Master said, the atmosphere was nice. Your book collection was great too. Hamustra said to himself, but something was different about that human. Tower Master said, I'll admit it, this is the best library I've ever been to. Hamustra said to himself, a human that can speak in the dragon tongue. A strange mixture of smells. You carry the scent of a dragon, but you are no dragon. You carry the taste of a god, but you are no god. How did you get here? I have never permitted a lowly creature like you to enter. Reveal your purpose, outsider. Tower Master said, hee. I'm not a thief. Don't be so wary of me. I'm like a traveling agent for insurance. I visit beings like you to convince them. Hee. Hamustra said, I asked why you are here. Tower Master said, I'm building a home. Perhaps I should call it a manor instead. I'm the landlord, and I'm here to convince you to become my tenant. Hamustra was silent. Electricity burst out from him, and he said, what an annoying creature. As the electricity struck the books, Hamustra said, get out of here. Fierce electricity and water rushed toward the Tower Master. But as Tower Master smirked, all of it vanished. Hamustra was silent, and he said, my powers did not work. Tower Master said, oh, sorry about that. I got too absorbed in the atmosphere. But can't you talk to me a bit more? The journey here was really difficult. Anyway, why doesn't this library have a door? Is this supposed to be a library or a grave? There's no airflow either. It's so stuffy. Should I open a window for you? As Tower Master flexed her arms and punched the ceiling, Hamustra was shocked and said, what the hell? Tower Master pointed at him. Finally, some fresh air. Hamustra was shocked and said, I surrender. What do you want from me? Tower Master said, can you take a look at this contract? I'm building a tower. Hamustra said, a tower? Tower Master said, I'm going to bring in beings like you. I'm going to allow the entry of those you call lowly creatures too. Hamustra said, you're going to give me the right to look at all the worlds there are. Tower Master said, well, the worlds I can intervene with. Hamustra said, this secret condition. Tower Master said, I'm going to need you never to break that. Hamustra said, why are you doing this? Tower Master said, no one is born because they want to be. That is why I believe everyone deserves a second chance at life. They might not be able to live exactly as they want, but at the very least, they should live because they want to be alive. So you will live once again, librarian, in a corner. As Hamustra looked at the golden butterfly, in the present, Kim Gong-ja said, climb the tower with me? Hamustra said, I am no ordinary constellation. I am different from your guardian ghost or holy sword. I am a constellation in charge of stages. I am of a pretty high level. For someone like me to be bound to a specific tower, I don't know. That has never happened before. Kim Gong-ja looked around and said, a grave of books. A collection of traces of worlds that had once been. A place where someone's story is sealed inside stop time. A place where you either admire or resent another person's world. As the newspaper said, Babylon. We did it once again. The Flame Emperor is a joke. Kim Gong-ja said to himself, I know a place like this. Kim Gong-ja said, Hamustra, do not live in a place like this. It is because you are cooped up here that you've become so strange. It is about time you came up to the ring yourself. Hamustra said, strange? Kim Gong-ja said, the apocalypses contain the lives of peoples. I am sure it feels like you would know everything there is to know about a person by reading them. But that is not true, Hamustra. Do you know how the end of the world was described in Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon? There was a sudden trend of a mysterious disease, and the Heavenly Demon died from it. Hamustra said, what the hell is that? Kim Gong-ja said, there is no information in that one line. Nothing about how my master died, how the people of the cult cried in torment, or about the texture of the dirt the children dug. You cannot figure all of that out just by reading. Hamustra said, but I can also see it for myself. Kim Gong-ja said, yes. Kim Gong-ja said, you can enter the worlds. I am sure you felt sorrow when I grieved my master's loss. Hamustra said, then it's no problem. Kim Gong-ja said, but you could not have been sadder than I was. As Hamustra sweated in a corner, Kim Gong-ja said, I am sure you felt admiration when she reached the realm where she could kill with simply her mind. But everything you felt was secondhand, an appreciation of what you were reading. I'm sure you love Lavielle too, but you know you can never love Lavielle as much as I do. You are just getting a sample taste of things. You are only an audience to lives you have never lived. Your life has never been on stage. Live with us. Humustra said, I am tied down by a contract. Your offer goes against the rules. I am sure the tower will do something about it. I would lose all my powers, then I would be of no use to you all. Kim Gong-ja said, but that is not what I am talking about, and you know that. Abandon the dreams of being killed by the constellation killer. I will give you a new dream. As Kim Gong-ja held the hands of Humustra, Kim Gong-ja said, you can appear in my story, and I will appear in yours. You and I will become we. As Humustra sweated and said, and he said, I will give you the best advice I can as a reader. I am your biggest fan, so I hope you will listen closely. Kim Gong-ja said, of course. Humustra said, but if you keep on flirting, the person listening to you might get the wrong idea. You should keep that between yourself and Duchess of Anzia. Otherwise, I might end up being murdered by her instead. Kim Gong-ja laughed and said, though I have already died before, I will keep that in mind. Humustra said, Death Sovereign, is it fun to live as a human? Kim Gong-ja smirked and said, it is terrible, but that is what makes the good even better. I will help you. Humustra opened the book and said, darn it, that is the last line of my apocalypse. As he raised the book, Humustra said, I choose the Death Sovereign, the librarian in a corner, and two others. As the characters in, once you open your eyes, you will be in. Kim Gong-ja said, we will be here. Humustra said, I announced that the stage has been cleared. As the system announced, stage cleared. A system notification said, today. A man shouted, Kya! A system notification said, the 30th floor stage has been cleared. Another said, well, what? Potion King said, goodness, my vision is already blurry, but now it is going to be in the negatives. You had better gift me something good for my health. Master Alchemist covered her eyes and said, huh? I am sorry, but you are the Potion King. Why do you not just get glasses? Viper said, oh, this is just what happens when a stage is cleared. It is just a simple ray of light. I am sure you have never experienced this before, but I have. You can always get desensitized to this kind of thing. Do not overreact. His followers said, ooh, Master, we believe you. Heresy Inquisitor said, all those of the Pantheon prepare for teleportation. We are going to start with work as soon as we arrive in Babylon. Kim Yule said, this is troublesome. I have never experienced work as a librarian. The director said, I know just a tiny bit, Kim Yule. I will help. Kim Yule said, please do. Anastasia shouted, calm down everyone. It is going to start soon. The paladin said, it has been a while since I have been to Babylon. A man muttered, there is going to be so much work to do. We still have 8 more worlds. Ugh. His friend sighed, I do not know. I just want to take a bath. Another added, I need a drink before anything. You down? Humustra closed his eyes. The system repeated, the 30th floor stage was cleared today. Warning, an abnormal clear has been detected. A warning has been given to the librarian in a corner. Humustra groaned. No matter. The 30th floor stage was chosen as Clit. I am the manager of the 21st to 30th floors. I guarantee it. I acknowledge that the stage has been cleared as the constellation ruling over Clit. Warning. There will be grave penalties for the librarian in a corner if the stage is announced as cleared. Will you proceed with it regardless? Kim Gong-ja held Humustra's hands. Humustra said, I will live in this tower, so please, acknowledge my fall from grace, Master of Life. The system repeated, the 30th floor stage was cleared today. The librarian in a corner has lost his authority. Adjusting rank, depriving the librarian in a corner of his nickname. Depriving the librarian in a corner of his authority. May luck be in your favor. Humustra landed on the ground. He opened his eyes and whispered, phew. Looking around, he said, look, Death Sovereign, I cannot fly anymore. It was my hobby to look down on the worlds from above, all day long, for days on end. Now I cannot do that. Kim Gong-ja said, yep, lots of things are gone. Humustra continued. Yeah, Gong-ja answered. Even though I achieved my dream of appearing in a story myself, I have conflicting feelings. Books fell to the ground. I am afraid, Humustra admitted. I love you all, but I fear you will not like me. That is why I am afraid. I want to be loved by all. Kim Gong-ja placed a hand on his shoulder. Humustra, that is not possible, so wake up. Let us take it slow. We will find a new hobby since yours is gone. Is there not anything you want to do? There are 2 wishes, Humustra said. First, I want you not to speak to me so formally. He pressed his fingers together. Okay, I can do that. What about the other one? Gong-ja asked. That one is a bit pricey. So much so that you will be shocked. What is it? Humustra raised his eyes. I want a white mocha frappuccino, venti, with a quad shot, extra Java chips, and chocolate drizzle. He looked at Kim Gong-ja and then laughed. In another scene, La Violivancia said, I see. So that is why you died. Gong-ja, you are shaking while carrying her. Kim Gong-ja stammered, I am not. His fingertips were turning purple. Is that so? It seems like it. It has been 3 hours since you came to school in this pose, Lavielle noted, continuing to drink. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, Lavielle. Lavielle is drinking soda while wearing a school uniform. Lavielle asked, am I heavy? So much so that the without using skills or aura order was too much for you? Inside, Kim Gong-ja was overwhelmed, in my arms too. How can this be? He replied aloud. Of course not. You are light as a feather. Is that so? A dinosaur's feather? An Archaeopteryx's, perhaps? She teased. You are lighter than the feather of a chick that just hatched, Gong-ja declared. Inside his mind, he narrated, this is the world of Heavenly Ascension City. Spin-off, now the 29th floor, since it could not be recognized as Orthodox history. This city, middle and high school, along with Shinseo, became like a lone island of a stage. It seems that if hunters enter this stage, they are simply recognized as students. It is an academic city that only has buildings from middle school to university. Lavielle looked around at the buildings. What a beautiful world. Public education. Even those without money can learn. How dreamlike is that? I'm going to pick talented people from the Empire to go here. I knew you were fit to be called the moon of the Evansia household, my love. Kim Gong-ja murmured, you will not learn such great things though. No matter, Lavielle replied. The point of education is to share knowledge. A nation is how you paint it. The people of a nation should dream of the same thing. Dream of the same thing, Gong-ja repeated. Seo Baikyang suddenly said, yes, a world should be filled with people who share the same dream. Kim Gong-ja thought aloud. I was thinking about how to assimilate the people of the tower with the people of the Empire, but the people of the Empire who receive education should act as a connecting bridge between the two. Lavielle dropped her soda. Well, enough political talk. I truly was surprised, Gong-ja. I was just working in my office when time suddenly regressed by 24 hours. A system notification said, rank X, the love of a certain regressor effect. Love is akin to poison for a regressor, for no matter how hard they struggle, they will not be able to spend time with the one they love. Therefore, a certain regressor made a wish, please protect my memories of my lover. Consequently, that wish reached the tower and came true. You now share a timeline with the one you love. If your lover regresses by 1 day, you will also regress by 1 day. This is the oath of the ring, the marriage of time. May luck be on both of your sides. Only remains active when you and your lover love each other. La Violivancia said, I knew right away that my lover had died somewhere again. Kim Gong-ja sweated and said, I am sorry. La Violivancia said, there is no need to apologize. I heard you were trying really hard not to die. You had no choice, I assume. Kim Gong-ja said, right? La Violivancia said, even if you were only fit to clear the 29th floor, forced yourself onto the 50th floor and aggravated the entire floor by starting a fight with one of the strongest people. There, I am sure you had absolutely no say in that, my love. Kim Gong-ja said, I am really sorry. La Violivancia said, are you seriously reflecting on your actions? Do you know what you did wrong? As she pinched Kim Gong-ja's face. Kim Gong-ja said, yeeth, and he thought to himself, Lavielle is pinching my cheek. Maybe this is a reward. La Violivancia said, oh goodness. Your eyes. You are not in your right mind. Although that is charming in its own way. I love you. Kim Gong-ja said, I love you. La Violivancia said, but thanks to you, I have looked around this high school enough. As Sword Emperor closed his eyes, disgusted at the sight of Kim Gong-ja and La Violivancia. La Violivancia jumped down from Kim Gong-ja's arms and said, I need to see the face of the person who killed you. Kim Gong-ja said, Lavielle, like I said earlier, he is your ancestor. Lavielle Evansia said, then I hate him even more. An ancestor should leave it to me to take care of things. How dare he lay his hands on the household's moon? The Evansia name and household are mine. Kim Gong-ja thought to himself, I am sorry, Constellation Killer. I am sorry, Kim Yul. You are dead now, Lavielle Evansia said, and I want to thank the person who raised you. Will you take me to him? Kim Gong-ja held Lavielle Evansia's hand and said, okay. As they both said, transmit. And so they traveled. Kim Gong-ja and Lavielle Evansia arrived at the planetarium. Humustra said, welcome to Planetarium, the library cafe. Welcome, Death Sovereign, as well as the heart covered by silver. What brings you to the 30th floor? Kim Gong-ja said, is Kim Yul here? Lavielle wants to see him. Humustra said, Kim Yul? He does not deserve to be called by his name. Coming all the way here to admire his face is definitely worth it. I understand. He should be organizing the children's books right now, but I will bring him here. Then a voice said, I see. That is a solution I would expect the Death Sovereign to come up with approximately. I am going to be really busy from now on thanks to him. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.